We are here in Harare for a workshop of the Popular University of Social Movements, bringing together academics from Mozambique, academics and social movements and organizations from Mozambique, South Africa and Zimbabwe, mostly from Zimbabwe as a matter of fact. And the topic is on people, seeds, land and climate change. I think it's a very timely and very urgent topic as a matter of fact. And we have a diverse group of social movements in which the women's movement are a very protagonistic type of presence here with their specific issues in this field. And I think that's very important what we are discussing because we are addressing both global and local issues, because these ideas of bringing together the peasant economy and climate change is bringing the local and the global, and to see that the global happens locally and whatever happens locally in our communities also has global implications and it usually reflects global dynamics. So we are really addressing here, I think one of the most important issues is the land issue. The land issue, land grabbing and the preservation of land for the peasants and for the peasant economy is probably the only tool against the climate change and the pollution. I think that we are here to discuss and to develop an autonomous discourse and narrative, autonomous vis-a-vis the global narrative on climate change, which in fact relies on carbon dioxide metrics, on emissions and just quantitative analysis, in which the qualitative, nutritional and the healthy aspect of food, for instance, that comes from the peasants are never considered. And in fact, all the global narrative focus on technologies that in the end lead to land grabbing, expulsion of peasants from their land, counter land reforms, as we are witnessing already in Mozambique with privatization of land, which has to be stopped by the movements and organizations, the need to preserve and to defend, correct and deepen the land reform here in Zimbabwe, and of course the struggle for a land reform in South Africa, which in my view will come about only with major political changes in South Africa. So I think that we are addressing the issues that are most important for the climate change. That's the way in which the Via Campesina is trying to intervene in this area with food sovereignty, seeds sovereignty, indigenous knowledge systems, the protection of peasant economies. This is the way in which an autonomous narrative, which in fact the Via Campesina is bringing to the World Social Forum and the other forum, that in fact is a counter-hegemonic narrative to the global narrative of climate change. I think that's why it is so important, and we are discussing one of the issues that I think is also very important is the fragmentation of movements, the need to aggregate movements, the need to articulate academic knowledge with popular knowledges, and the need to have a more balanced relationship with donors so that not foreign agendas are imposed on people, but that their own agendas by the people, generated from below, from grassroots, bottom up, and then probably an interaction with donors. We have to rebalance the power relations between donors and the social movements in Africa, and that's what we are doing here.